In this video, we're going to figure out what is our percent yield of calcium phosphate if we run this reaction and collect 2.88 grams of calcium phosphate. Now, if you want to figure out which of these is the limiting reagent, go check out the other videos I put up today. In those videos, we determined that the limiting reagent is calcium chloride. Therefore, this is the one we will use to calculate our theoretical yield. Because we need to know our theoretical yield to get to our percent yield. So to calculate the theoretical yield, we're going to go from grams of calcium chloride to moles of calcium chloride to moles of calcium phosphate to grams of calcium phosphate. And this is in general how you're going to calculate, grams of something to grams of something else. We start from the 3.33 grams of calcium chloride. Now we're going to convert grams to moles. To do that, we're going to use the molar mass. So 110.98 grams of calcium chloride gives us 1 mole of calcium chloride. Now we're in moles of calcium chloride. We can use our chemical equation to convert moles of calcium chloride to moles of calcium phosphate. So we can see here, coefficient of 3, coefficient of 1. Therefore, our mole-to-mole conversion factor is 3 moles of calcium chloride to 1 mole of calcium phosphate. Our last term is the term that will take us from moles of calcium phosphate to grams of calcium phosphate, and we have another molar mass, which is a conversion factor. We're going to put that 1 mole of calcium phosphate on the bottom because we want the units to cancel, and we can put the 310.17 grams of calcium phosphate on top. If we crunch out those numbers, we get 3.10 grams calcium phosphate. This is our theoretical yield. So according to just stoichiometry, this is how much calcium phosphate we would expect to get if the reaction went perfectly. But because real life isn't perfect, our actual yield was only 2.88 grams, as you can see up here in the problem. Well, now we need to calculate a percent yield. We know the formula for that is your actual yield, 2.88 grams, over your theoretical yield, 3.10 grams, times 100%. Crunch those out, round correctly, you get 92.9% yield. So, if you start from 3.33 grams of calcium chloride, our limiting reagent, you can use that to calculate a theoretical yield, and then you use that with the actual yield to get your percent yield. See you guys on Friday.